Hello there and welcome to Call TV News on the Hour with me, Sabena Izuku. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar declared his interest in seeking the tickets of the All Progressive Congress for the 2015 presidential elections. He also named a veteran strategist, Babalola Borishade, to coordinate his campaign. Atiku media advisor Garba Shehu disclosed this in a statement made available to journalists in Abuja. He added that the former vice president will formally declare his intent and unfold his plans on Wednesday, 24th of September 2014. In announcing his ambition, Atiku said his interest in the presidency is about reforming government, securing the people, and reconciling the nation. On the appointment of Borishade as campaign coordinator, Shehu described him as a well-known political strategist who worked for the victory of the late Shehu Musa Yar'Adua and thereafter late Moshood Abiola on the platform of defunct Social Democratic Party SDP. He also worked as a strategist for President Olusegun Obasanjo in 1999 and 2003 elections, both of which were won resoundingly. A former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Nuhu Ribadu, and 7 other governorship aspirants in Adamawa State on the platform of the People's Democratic Party have been asked to shelve their ambition till 2015. Ribadu and 7 aspirants are now taking part in the party's governorship primary election scheduled to hold in Yola on Saturday. The decision was reached at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, after about 4 hours of meeting with the 14 aspirants by the leadership of the party, including the Senate President David Mark. Apart from Ribadu, others who have agreed to step down include Awal Tuka, Aliyu Idi Ong, Andrea Wusawa, James Bakar, Aliyu Kama, Makaz Gundiri, and Abubakar Girey. Those who will slug it out on Saturday at the primary election are Gary Kumdisi, Ahmed Gulak, Buba Ama, Omar Ado, Ahmed Modibo, and acting Governor Omar Pintiri. It was agreed at the meeting that those who stepped down will vie for the position in 2015, while those who are contesting now would not be part of those who will vie for the position next year. The National Assembly members have resolved to meet with President Goodluck Jonathan over the renewed Boko Haram attacks on the northeast. The decision was taken at a 5-hour-long closed-door meeting in Abuja between the Senate and the House of Representatives Joint Committee on Defense and the Chief of Defense Staff, Alex Bade. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Defense, George Sekibo, reveals after the meeting that the Chief of Defense Staff insisted that the armed forces were in control of the security situation in the region. He added that the defense chief dismissed recent claims that the insurgents were in control of several towns. Sekibo says the parley with Jonathan would come up after the committee had reported the outcomes of the meeting to the respective chambers. His House of Representatives counterpart, Bashir Adamu, revealed that 300 billion naira, not 1 trillion naira, was budgeted for the military this year. He, however, noted that 75% of the amount was for recurrent expenditure. The lawmakers called for more funding of the military operations, adding that the meeting with Jonathan would center around funding needs of the armed forces. Agents of Bayelsa State in Abuja have called on President Goodluck Jonathan to declare his intentions to contest the 2015 presidential election. They say Jonathan administration has done enough since 2011 to earn a second term. The group also wants Nigerians to rally around the government in its bid to tackle insurgencies in the northeast region.
Establishment of Amajiri schools in northern states, which is a trailblazer. You can observe that the Amajiris have been existing for long, but no president, no head of state have been able to cater for the Amajiris. They see them going hand in plate, begging for money. But he looked at it and said, no, the gap between the educated and uneducated should be bridged. He set up schools for them. If you are conversant with an NTA program advert, where a child whose father was about being cheated, but because he attended this Amajiri school, he was able to count money and tell the father the truth. That is an achievement. Despite distraction, the president is fighting courageously the menace of insurgency in the northern part of the country. We wish to commend the Nigerian military for its doggedness in tackling the insurgents. And this is a challenge to all Nigerians and to our collective existence. Our heart goes to the parents of the Chibok schoolgirls adopted by the terrorists over 3 months ago. It is a trying time for them and the nation as well. We demand for their immediate and unconditional release by their adopters. We wish to also commiserate with families of those who lost their loved ones in the course of the terrorist activities.
Determined to wrestle power at the center from the People's Democratic Party at the 2015 general elections, the All Progressive Congress has vowed to use the power of votes vested in the people by investing heavily on people's-oriented programs. This is the highlight of the APC Southwest Assembly held in Ibadan on Thursday. Omotayo filed on this report.
The atmosphere was that of cordiality and pleasantness as members of the All Progressive Congress in Southwest gathered to strategize for the party's victorious showing in the 2015 general election. Rauf Aregbesola, who recently won the Osun State governorship election, charged party members to develop a template for bringing governance to the people, while making sure that cooperation within the party ranks is regarded paramount. He called for the review of the party's winning strategies to meet current realities.
Our greatest strength against the plans of our opposition in this region and even Nigeria are who? The people. Our programs, our policies, our activities, our campaign strategies must all be geared towards satisfying, mobilizing, inspiring the people.
For the party's aspirant for various 2015 elective positions, Governor of Oyo State Abiola Ajimobi encourages them to be ever focused on people-oriented programs and pay less attention to the opposition party's propaganda. All the party's stalwarts lend support to the governor's position.
APC, as a party, we believe we will win in all the states that we are contesting, and that is the 36 states plus Abuja. We are going to win, and we will win the presidency.
At this time, we have to close ranks. Those people that are having issues, we have to close ranks. We should give what it takes to bring everybody back to the center, so that we can make a good progress.
It's our hope, and it's our will and determination by come 2015 we will expand our coast and make sure that we win at all elective positions in the Nigerian state, particularly at the center, where we will now have even distribution of resources and powers to all the confederation units that make up Nigeria.
The National Vice Chairman, Southwest Zone, Pius Akinyelure, and others stressed the importance of unity and togetherness while expressing their satisfaction on the outcome of the assembly.
We've been able to discuss our performances in the past and able also to reposition ourselves for the jobs ahead. And again, re-energizing our people to get ready for the fight ahead.
It is an opportunity also to be in the midst of where issues are being reviewed for the main purpose of getting it better.
With so much determination to be successful at the 2015 elections, the All Progressives Congress have reached conclusions, but only time can tell if these decisions will translate to favorable results during the 2015 polls. Omotayo Alo, Core TV News, Ibadan.
Nigerians have been urged to sack non-performing politicians through their votes in 2015 general elections. Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola and legal luminary Akin Oyebode issued the advice at the 15th Mike Okonkwo annual lecture. Series titled "The Power of Your Vote: A Catalyst for a Stable and United Nigeria." Abiola Oluwole was there, and his report is presented from our studio. As political gladiators map out strategies to occupy elective offices in 2015, groups have also stepped up sensitization among Nigerians on the importance of voting wisely. This gathering is another avenue to intimate the electorate on the gains of electing credible leaders come 2015 and beyond. Delivering a lecture titled "Power of Your Vote: A Catalyst for a Stable and United Nigeria," a professor of law. Akin Oyebode laments the inability of politicians to abide by the nation's electoral law. He maintains that the right of the electorate to choose who governs them without fear or intimidation must not be toyed with.
This is why the governing class is charged to do all it can to assure the people that their vote will count. More so, as Joseph de Maistre once said, that the people get the government that they deserve. So if this is not the government that we deserve, we have the obligation to vote them out and put into power those deserving of our votes. But that is if all things are put in check.
While blaming the degeneration of the nation's value system as the bane of good governance in the country, Fashola urged the electorate to always summon the courage of voting out non-performing administration.
We must have the courage to change what does not work for us. It is no longer democratic when a bad government has served out its full term and then we say we are changing it. In the same way that we must change a bad government, we must vote very vigorously to keep a good one. And that is where the choice is inherent and embedded.
As activities for the next general elections gear up, all Nigerians are asking for credible elections that will guarantee them improved living standards. Away from politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission is set to collaborate with the Central Bank of Nigeria on the printing of electoral materials for 2015 general elections. INEC Chairman Atahiru Jega disclosed this in Abuja when he received the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele in his office. The CBN governor had said the visit was a follow-up to a directive by President Goodluck Jonathan that printing of all security materials be done in the country. Jega hailed the bank's contribution at ensuring credible elections since 2011 and also dropped hints on the possibility of printing electoral materials locally. There's more for you after the break. Please stay with us.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Good to have you back. President Goodluck Jonathan seeks equitable distribution of wealth for Nigerians. From the country's much touted macroeconomic stability, he also noted that even though Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa, a lot of work has to be done to ensure equitable distribution of wealth. Jonathan disclosed this at the inauguration of the National Council on Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises in Abuja. The report.
The event is a follow-up to government efforts to empower small business owners. Coming few weeks after the launch of the 220 billion naira MSME funds, the inauguration of the council is meant to be a declaration of intent by the government. It also provided a forum for some home truths on the need for more Nigerians to benefit from the country's status as Africa's largest economy.
Must urgently address critical economic issues of inclusion and wealth distribution. I repeat, we must ensure that this economy works for all of our people, that we indeed become a land of opportunity for all, and a land where hopes become reality regardless of who you are, where you hail from, or whatever beliefs you share.
President Jonathan noted that majority of registered businesses in the country are small business. He also admitted that lack of access to funds is a major challenge of small business owners, which he wants the council to help address. Responding on behalf of the council, Vice President Namadi Sambo commended what he described as a bold initiative by the Jonathan administration.
As Mr. President has pointed out, the micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, have been known all over the world to be the engine of economic growth and wholesome contributors to employment generation, wealth creation, and poverty alleviation. In order to properly position and develop this all-important subsector for the achievement of the transformation agenda and the National Vision 2020, all the challenges militating against its optimal performance must be deliberately confronted.
And already, government officials say they are committed to creating an enabling environment for the important but largely ignored sector of the economy.
For us, this is a game changer, and that's what we focus on in meeting. The ministry has been involved in at least 10 game changers in the life of this administration. When I say game changer, this is a sector that actually controls the Nigerian economy. 3 out of 4 people employed in this country are from this sector. But we have never in the history of this country treated the micro, small, and medium enterprises as a sector. As a result, they have had to grow on their own. A country where you have about 17.25 million SMEs and only 8% of them have access to finance from recognized institutions means that that system has not supported them in any way.
Like my colleague said, this will touch all the sectors. This will touch the real mind in the village, because when you talk about micro activities, micro businesses, that is for the man on the street. And so what the president is doing today just shows that, yeah, the president is very concerned about the issues that touches and concerns the real man on the street.
I think with this, of course, the economy will be developed, because when we create wealth for our people, we will develop our economy. And micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises are truly the engine room. They are catalysts for economic development.
The council headed by Vice President Namadi Sambo is expected to help address the difficulties many small businesses face in accessing funds. It is also expected to coordinate with similar councils at state levels, and already 10 states have set up similar structures.
Now over to health matters. Nigerian health authorities have laid rumors of Ebola virus disease in Kaduna State to rest. Spokesman for the Health Ministry, Dan Iwome, disclosed that the suspect case tested negative. He added in a brief statement that the test done in Lagos shows that the student of the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria who manifested Ebola-like symptoms earlier in the week had leukemia. The federal government has intensified surveillance at airports across the country to prevent the influx of Ebola virus disease. It also wants Nigerians to see the inconveniences experienced at the airports as a major sacrifice that will help stop the virus. Minister of Aviation Lucita Chidoka said this while inspecting the level of surveillance at the Abuja airport.
We are providing the necessary infrastructure to make sure that what happened with the index case of Mr. Sawyer coming into Nigeria does not repeat itself, and more importantly, using the testing techniques that the Ministry of Health has ordered to ensure that we do not move it across the country. I think that the country has come out very strongly against the Ebola virus. I think that there has been tremendous support and tremendous concerted effort led by the President in the event of the Ebola, and I think it's fairly under control. What we need to do is to continue to call on Nigerians to continue to support government's efforts in making sure that we do not have the spread of the disease beyond the index case that has been the one that has spread all these problems we have in Nigeria so far.
The World Health Organization says more than 1,900 people have now died of Ebola virus in West Africa, warning that the world's worst ever outbreak of the disease is still gathering pace. Global health experts have stepped up their warnings in recent days that world leaders need to do more to address the epidemic, which is most prominent in Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. The latest two represents a significant increase from 1,552 deaths and 3,069 cases reported by the Geneva-based organization just days ago. The number of deaths is higher than the total fatalities in all previous outbreaks combined. Senior United Nations System Coordinator on Ebola, David Nabarro, says the number could rise even higher. Nabarro says he hopes that the global response to the health crisis would soon bear fruit, especially in the hardest hit countries. About 200 experts in Geneva to debate experimental treatments for the Ebola virus as the world's worst ever outbreak rages in West Africa. The meeting was organized by the World Health Organization and includes policymakers, ethicists, clinicians, researchers, and patients representatives from the affected countries. The meeting aims to review and evaluate the current developments of therapies and vaccines for the virus, inform authorities of affected countries about the treatment available, and ease contacts between countries affected by the disease and countries producing treatments.
All do in order to have this unproven medicine, and I want to stress this point. What we'll be discussing at this moment is unproven, is the hope of what we're going to have. How can we take the things which are the most promising of these unproven medical products and make sure that they are developed with the highest speed possible? So develop in terms of getting them to registration, and develop in terms of putting them in the treatment center as much as possible in order to make a difference in the life of people. Then we will go into from the plan to what support is needed from everybody, from governments, from funding agency. How can we have this plan move this unproven medicine to medicines who are experimented in the field to make an impact, possibly on the epidemic, but possibly and certainly also on the life of the people who have to fight the epidemic.
We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll bring you news outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
This is Judiciary Today.
The judiciary's function is to interpret the law.
The judge in Lagos State is perhaps one of the most comfortable judges in the world.
You don't say because we are fighting terrorists or we are fighting terror, then you go about violating people's rights. We're not going to allow that in this country.
I think that's one of the reasons why some
that's what lawyers do.
I didn't say that what lawyers do.
The TV show that brings you in-depth review and analysis of judiciary issues that affect you.
Police officers to welcome victims with empathy and not say, what were you wearing? Where did you go? What were you doing at 10 p.m. at night?
As the Nigeria judiciary mourns one of their own.
He has gone to court on behalf of Nigerian citizens even without taking a cover.
It is time for lawyers to take their health very seriously, lawyers and judges.
Only on Core TV.
Welcome back. British Prime Minister David Cameron says Britain could contribute 3,500 troops to a NATO rapid response force designed to meet new threats highlighted by the Ukraine crisis and Islamic militants gained in Syria and Iraq. The spearhead will be part of a reformed NATO response force headquartered in Poland, with pre-positioned equipment and exercises frequently to ensure its readiness. The two-day NATO summit has been billed as most important since the end of the Cold War.
Must reassure our Eastern European members that we will always uphold our Article 5 commitments to collective self-defence. So we must be able to act more swiftly. I hope that today we can agree a multinational spearhead force deployable anywhere in the world in just 2 to 5 days. This would be part of a reformed NATO response force with headquarters in Poland, forward units in the Eastern Allies, and pre-positioned equipment and infrastructure to allow more exercises and, if necessary, rapid reinforcement. If we can agree this, the United Kingdom will contribute 3,500 personnel to this multinational force. Second, as the Secretary-General has said, we must increase our capacity. I hope today we can reaffirm our public commitment to spend 2% of our GDP on defence and 20% of that money on equipment.
And that's it on the news on the hour. Please do join me at the top of the hour for more. I am Sabina Izuku. Thank you very much indeed for watching.